First off, I'm going to apologize for the state of the table. I probably should have done a quick wipe on the surface, but I'll probably take care of that later when I'm done with whatever I need to do on this table now. One of which is today's video, which I'm doing this a couple of weeks in advance. I'm trying to get as much stuff done and ready to go before I go on a road trip in a couple of days. But by the time you're watching this, which not on the exact day I'd imagine, but by the time this goes live, I will have turned 45. And this is set to go live on Saturday the 15th of August of the year 2026, which will be my 45th birthday. And I really don't want to talk about that. Primarily because as I'm recording this, it hasn't happened yet, but even when we get to that point, I probably wouldn't want to talk about that because, yeah, anyways, what I do want to talk about, and you look at the title of this thing, I don't know if I would qualify this or quantify this as the best birthday, because how do you determine that, really? And I don't know if I would call it the greatest birthday or whatever the case may be. So it might be a bit of a fib or whatever the case may be. But I will say one of the happier birthdays that I've had for a variety of reasons was my 9th birthday. And actually, before we get to the 9th birthday, this was 1990. Before we get to that, this is Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo Entertainment System. The original copy that I got back when my folks got me an NES in 1990. And this is not part of the birthday package, but obviously this came with the game console. I've had an Atari 7800 for a couple of years now, and I enjoyed that console. But other people I knew had Nintendos, and I've been to their houses, and we've played those quite a bit. And my folks sort of read the room, got me an NES, came with this, and enjoyed the heck out of this. But it was 1990, and the new thing was Super Mario Bros. 3. That was the big hotness that everybody else was getting, and that leads us to the main meat of the matter, which is, well, today's birthday discussion, as it were. So, 15th of August, 1990, just turned 9, and I wake up on the side of my bed. There is a gift box neatly wrapped. How you were able to get a box on my bed without waking me up. Nowadays, the slightest noise or the slightest creak, wakes, I'm up like a light in the middle of the night even. But then again, that could be other issues. That's besides the point. Anyways, so I wake up, this kid wakes up, looks to the side of his bed, he sees a gift box. And he opens that box up, and inside, sure enough, is a boxed copy of Super Mario Bros. 3. The box and the instruction manual, unfortunately, are long gone, but this is the same cartridge I got on that day. A little worse for wear. It's got a couple pen marks here and there. It's got a little sticker and a couple scruffs, but very same game that I got back in that day on my 9th birthday. And yeah, it's a game that holds up. I should probably stack it like that so it's a little better, I guess, I suppose. Anyways. We got Super Mario Bros. 3 that day. And if that was the only game I got that day, that'd be one thing. But another game that I've been playing at someone's house. One of my cousins, I think, I don't recall, was Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. And a game that probably hasn't aged as well as the others, but it's a game that we enjoyed back in the day. We had fun memories trying to figure shit out. Only one of us knew of Nintendo Power. The rest of us just sort of figured shit out for ourselves, and we actually managed that, believe it or not. Not everybody needed a FAQ or an FAQ or a FU whatever to this, that, whatever. We didn't need a guide. We figured shit out on our own. And the only time we needed a guide was with the tornado, and that was after we already beat the game. Anyways, happy memories. So one of my cousins got this for me as a gift. So, hey, 2 NES games on one single birthday. Already a bit of a boon in my mind, in my young mind. But then my older brother got me these games. So we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Pretty self-explanatory. And this was my first exposure to secondhand games because this did not come with an instruction manual. It came in a box, and it had a little styrofoam thing. I could remember that, but it never came with the instruction manual. I was kind of bummed out about that because those Konami instruction manuals I remember being pretty fun reads. And, for the most part, the localization and all that. You go back in the day, you go back to all these old localized Konami ads and instruction manuals, and all the fun stuff that they would come up with, and little hand-drawn screenshots of each stage and all that, which I thought were kind of cool. But yeah, I was kind of bummed out there wasn't an instruction manual, but we got a little piece of paper that pretty much told you how to play the game, which wasn't quite the same thing, but whatever. Fun times. But he also got me the Punisher, which which is a funny thing because I don't recall reading a lot of Punisher back when I was a kid. I mean, this makes sense because that came with the Nintendo and everybody played it. This makes sense because that was the new hotness. This made sense because I was playing it at a friend's house or somebody's house and they gave me a copy. And this made sense because I was big into the Turtles. The Punisher was a thing. And this did come with a manual, but it was a fun game. Yes, it's from LGN and Beam Software, and their output has usually been questionable, but it's a sort of side-scrolling rail shooter. And we did videos on all of these games at certain points. So I might put the videos up, the reviews up, either link them or maybe tag them on the end of the thing. I don't know. But yeah, I remember this being a fun time. I really got to go back and play this. It's been years since I last touched this one. Might give it a whirl later on. But yeah, so I look at these 4 games, and I look at these 4 games, and I consider this to be the greatest boon of birthday gifts that a kid could get. I guess we could put this on here too, because this sort of got the ball rolling. And I don't want to quantify the best birthday gifts simply on the number of games I got, because I certainly didn't get I could easily say that I was pretty much spoiled. You'd be lucky to get, like, later birthdays, I'd be lucky to get 1 or 2 to get this much. And I can think of one other birthday where I also got a bunch of games, for the PS1. I got a couple games on there. I got like Resident Evil and Mortal Kombat trilogy and all that. That was a fun time. But that's not the point, I don't think. Because none of those games were gift wrapped and laid next to my bed, next right to my head, right on my pillow, right next to my pillow on top of that. And that's a memory that's like very vivid. I don't have a lot of birthday memories. A lot of them sort of kind of blur together after a while. But that one birthday where you had the gift wrapped Super Mario 3, and then you had someone else. I was gifted the Simon's Quest, and then I eventually got these two. And it was like, you know, I don't know if you would quantify happiness like that, but it was a sense of euphoria and bliss. And the feeling that, yeah, this is like the greatest birthday a kid could have. And if nothing else, they gave me like the greatest gift you could think of, you could give a kid was like kickstarting an NES collection of sorts. Because I went from having one game and all of a sudden I've got five. And I thought, wow. It's a little happy memory from way back when that I've had very few happy memories that are worth remembering. A lot of it just blurs together, and a lot of it is usually tainted by other shit that happens that I really don't want to get into. Nothing really serious or anything like that, but sometimes shit happens. But this one birthday that I felt kind of happy, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And it's a feeling I wouldn't get on any other birthday afterwards, even though I would get other gifts that were a little more significant and a little more vital, I guess, for lack of a better term. Stuff that I would continue to use to this day and still have, and little mementos and trinkets that cost a little more and things of that nature. But little statues and stuff, like statuettes and stuff like that. But I look at this collection and I don't know. It's not about the quality of the games, because the games are like whatever. It's like it's whatever. It's just a happy feeling that I had that for some reason I look back at that birthday and I look at it with fondness, because it was a feeling of happiness that I don't think I was ever really able to grasp again. A joyous, I would say, I would say a bit spoiled, as it were, in wares. But at the same time, though, I thought it was a cool thing, and little cool moments like that don't come very often, and it's the little cool moments like that that I don't think are gonna come again. I don't think so. Kind of a sad note, but I don't really think of it as a sad note. It just makes me appreciate the little moments, I suppose. And I don't know. It's nowadays. It's like, can you get a feeling like this nowadays, where we're not that into these sort of trinkets as we used to be back in the day. It's like nowadays, it's like, here's some money or a gift card or whatever the case may be, or let's do this, let's do that. I don't know. Like, this sort of represents a different mindset, a different time. And I don't know. I think maybe somewhere along the way we lost something, I suppose. And we try to maintain some of that But no matter how hard we try, it's just something that we really can't. I don't know. Like, I've been struggling to get the words out to what I really wanted to say. Like, I really wanted to talk about the birthday, but the truth is I wanted to use this as a sort of prelude to the next Ramble video that's going to come out in September. It's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and truth be told, it's something I've been putting off for years. Something I wanted to talk about for a good long while. And I've been putting off for years because I wasn't sure how to convey this. And honestly, you know, I wouldn't be bringing this up if it weren't for the fact that there are a couple bits of news that came out in July that I'm sure some of you know about. You know, if you frequent the gaming circles, as it were, probably know what I'm alluding to. And this is sort of a prelude to that, I suppose. But I thought I was gonna have a hard time talking about that, but turns out this is just as I don't want to say painful, but I want to say difficult, because that was a happy time. It was a happy, fleeting moment of a childhood that I can't say was all that bad, but one of the few moments that I thought were genuinely joyful. And anyways, it's a little thing. Anyways, I normally don't do this, but I guess we could open up some engagement of some sort. If anyone's willing to share some happy birthday memories, whether it's recent or from a younger age. I'm stammering quite a bit because this is kind of emotional. It's kind of hard to grasp that I've reached this point, because I didn't think I would. Because there were dark days, man. There were dark days that I considered. Anyways, we don't need to hear that. Yeah, I ran out of things to say. So yeah, that was first 5 NES games, most of which I got on my 9th birthday. Probably the happiest birthday that I could think of, or at least the one that sticks to memory the most memorable one, I guess, would probably be the right term for it. I don't know. Any thoughts? Any birthday memories that come to mind? I'd like to hear them. Let's actually engage in some engagement, I guess. Some discussion, as it were, if it means anything. So, anyways, I appreciate your sticking with me for the 20 minutes or so of incoherent rambling about this thing. Hopefully you'll be around in September when I do another one of these, which will probably not be as joyous and will probably upset a few people, because you're probably not going to like what I have to say about, let's be honest, a whole bunch of things. This is a lot of stuff I wanted to get off my chest, and this no time like the present, I suppose, but it's going to be a fun one regardless, just not the kind of fun anyone would be thinking of. So I'm going to store these away now, because I had to clean the table, and also, actually, you know what, I got a couple of things I got to take care of before I do a proper clean. There's a bunch of stuff I needed to do before I head off, but anyways. So, anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care, be safe, good night. Catch y'all later.